All right. So welcome everyone to day 2 of week 4. So I know we just had a meeting yesterday. So I just want to start off with saying it's okay. Today might be a little oh my God, we're already on this now. Um, just take a breath, just go through the activities with us, and it'll be okay. We're not expecting you to have an entire draft of this section right now or by the end of this meeting. This is just to give you all the pieces so you can get started on it, and then hopefully, after we go through all the different pieces, you'll be able to just go on and do it yourself. Because we only have a limited time with you over the summer. So with that in mind, Lexi.
All right, so for today's warm up, we have a pretty fun question for today. But last time we were talking about writing rituals, and we wanted to see if any of you have any new ones that you might have added this summer. Maybe because it's warmer outside, you like to study outside now. That could be something that you introduced. Maybe instead of hot beverages that you like to drink at your wherever you're working, you could like to drink lemonade now or sweet iced tea or something of that sort. Um, but is there anything new that you added this summer, figured out things that worked for you better, maybe got rid of something that didn't work? Um, any new things, any old things you got rid of? Yes, Rocket Pops are good. Dude, 7-Eleven day is almost here and I'm waiting. I'm so excited. I don't even know if they do it anymore. I haven't been in years, but this summer.
I think I'm gonna be in Chicago.
They do it everywhere, right? Does everywhere do it?
Yeah, I might need to convince my cousins to take me though. I don't feel like my grandma will be super on board.
But it's a free Slurpee. How can you say no to that?
I feel like that should be part of our writing rituals now. We should go get Slurpees before.
All right, just bring back our. We should like show like what we're all drinking to make sure we're hydrated.
Pull out something that's not water. That's kidding. I just have water.
Because I have my cute little cup. It's watered down juice because the juice was too sweet for me.
Oh, a McNair Slurpee. Yes,
Mm.
must. Let's see, Maria, trying to speak more my ideas into a voice memo. That's a great idea. I hear a lot of people like that voice to text. Didn't you use that for a little while, Lexi?
I tried to do it, but I did it when I was like super tired at like 12 and it did not go well. So I think I just have to try again when I'm like lucid.
I had a lot of teammates who did that when we were on concussion protocol.
Oh, that's smart.
You can't look at screens, but gotta get that essay done. So yeah.
I feel like it's pretty good, but it sometimes just misses some like filler words, so you do have to like go back and edit it a little bit. But yeah, if you can't look at a computer screen, it's pretty good.
Ooh, and also likes it. So helpful, especially if you do it all just your ideas. Oh yeah, just to brainstorm. That's a great idea. I like that. Like that a lot. It's a great
That
right.
also that also help you like go to sleep because then be like, oh, this is off my brain now. I don't have to worry about it.
Plus, you're not looking at a screen the same way, right? You don't have to
True.
like stare at it as much. Love it, love it. Okay, any other new rituals? One more. Lexi, you got any new ones?
I think it's my cold drink now instead of my warm drink because it's summer. I can't be drinking hot coffee or tea all the time. It's so unfortunate, but ah,
Yeah, it's a big adjustment. I used to only drink iced coffee. Well, okay, not only. I have a hot coffee in the morning, then I have an iced coffee in the afternoon. That was like my thing. Um, but then I got to Monterey and it was always hot coffee because it was so cold. And now I'm back home. I'm like, oh man.
Oh, I'm trying to like hop on the like iced matcha or matcha latte train. I'm trying.
Oh,
I don't know.
we'll see. We'll see. Ooh, you got a matcha
Yes.
lover.
Okay. Okay. I need to be convinced. I've tried it. I had someone make it for me once, but it was like at her place, and it tasted kind of like grass. Because I feel like I'm used to like the more ceremonial when you like eat the candy and then drink the matcha, so then it like tastes sweet.
Mm.
I don't know. Okay, wait. So then, okay, people who do drink matcha, do you add? I know people add sweet things to it. So I've heard like maple syrup is good, or like agave or honey. Do you have like a preferred? Like, what's the best? Okay, honey. Interesting. Okay. Mm,
Agave syrup. Also, yeah.
okay, honey.
Love
Good to know. I'll try it out. Thank you for the recommendation.
Right. Now with our new matcha tip, should we go on to the next slide?
Yes.
So we got some other more writing ritual things to consider for you all. So we went over some yesterday, but as you continue to develop your writing rituals, we want you to also think about how do you get into a productive mindset? Do you, what times do you notice this happening? Is it when you are doing something else and you're like, oh, now I feel super productive? Like usually when I start cleaning my house, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get a million things done now. Let's go. So just thinking that how do you get yourself to be in a productive mindset? How might you reward yourself after a success, a successful writing time, like a small win that we always celebrate? And please remember, even just brainstorming research, that is productive too. Just because you don't have a product just yet, that does not mean you were not productive. The whole process is a process. So as long as you're doing part of that, that is you being productive. Do you like working with friends around? Some people do, some people don't. Sometimes you like having people around for certain parts of your writing process, right? So keeping that in mind. Do you need a clean space to work in? Maybe you want to clean your desk before. And how will you make sure others do not interrupt your writing time? So setting kind of boundaries with roommates, with your friends, with your peers, putting your phone away, things kind of like that. So you don't have to follow these. These are just things to consider.
Okay, so this is our agenda for today. Again, we kind of went over a little bit, but we're going to continue doing the broader impacts review. Then we're going to take our mind maps that we worked on yesterday, and put that into storyboarding process, which is really the organization step of pre-writing. So making sure it all flows into each other and fully connects all of the ideas, because storyboarding will then take it to drafting, and we will give you all some time to work on it, ask for feedback, figure out all the good things, and then of course deliverables, and then things for next time.
All right, we're just going to do a quick review of the broader impacts. And again, this is on page 10, going into 11 in the primer. So this is the third part of the personal statement. It's going to be about 3/4 of a page long. And this is describing more of the impacts of your activities, not the activities themselves, which might get a little confusing. But it, when we're talking about the 4 pillars, this is really focusing on initiative, leadership, and impact, as the name implies.
Okay, so what is broader impacts? Just again, I'm just going to read the bold points because we have gone over this already, but it is focusing on the pillars instead of activities, connecting your broader impact achievements to a theme of what motivates you, like your mission statement, including broader impact endeavors, training, or professional develops that you'll participate in before starting fellowship, and then the scope and magnitude of your broader impact. Again, this also has more information in the primer, but y'all should know that. Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to introduce the next step in pre-writing, which is storyboarding. This can be found on pages 30 to 34 of the primer. Lexi, do you want me to do this one or?
You should do this one.
Okay. So like I said, storyboarding is going to be the second step in your pre-writing. So this follows mind mapping. And what this really does is just organizes your thoughts from mind mapping and helps you to start develop your flow and your narrative. So we've talked about this a couple weeks ago or a week ago. So on the top, you see an example. This is just like the template of what you might do with a storyboard. You can do this on really any format you want. We did it on Google Slides. You can do it on a Google document if you want, whatever works best for you. Um, so first you're gonna cover your theme, just briefly, what it is you want to tell the reader, what is the theme of that paragraph. Then you're gonna write just a general, topic sentence. You can always change it. It's okay, just to get an idea on how you might start that paragraph. What is your impact sentence? So this is going to be something really big. We'll talk about more later on. But really, the important thing to know with this is what do you want the reader to remember? So when they read the whole paragraph, which sentence do you want to stand out to them? So that should relate back to your theme, right? Taking note of any key points, ideas, messaging, the 4 pillars. This is just kind of bullet points, thinking about how you're going to address these in that paragraph. Your closing sentence, so how you're going to close out the paragraph and prepare yourself for the next one. Always like that kind of transition sentence, right? And then optional is, use the speaker notes section of the Google Slides to add any additional questions, thoughts, that kind of thing. Reasoning maybe for why you wrote what you did, that can all go there. And on the bottom, you see my example. So this is the introduction, paragraph 1, version 1. You can do multiple versions. Each slide is going to be 1 paragraph. That's how you'll break it down. So my theme was that for this was sparked interest in science. My topic sentence was a little cheesy, but it was roaming the halls of museums and aquariums. I searched for answers to those big questions of life. So it was me trying to, get down. I'm going to use my childhood of going to museums on like the free museum day with my mom as like what got me into science. The impact, I am a scientist, right? Key points. It's always been my dream to do that. Pursued science as a kid, did a lot of different activities. Challenges from being a first generation and first to pursue science in my family, and finding my passion in marine science. That was how far I got. So that was a lot, but and it may seem very similar to a basic outline, and it is. This is just another way to outline, but taking more of what like your mind map is and just putting it into something that's going to be a better framework for this specific application.
Something that we wanted to include is that when you're writing about these different things, not only in your broader impacts, but also in the other sections of your personal statement, and even like other things in general, we recommend taking the chronological approach. A lot of times it's easier to do things in the write about things in the chronological approach because it kind of builds that natural flow and transition of things, and it shows how you develop as a researcher. And so as you're going along through your college career, you can directly show like how you also evolved as a researcher, and the experiences that you were doing are cooler and bigger and better each time. That being said, we also don't want you to like list them out. A lot of these we want you to delve deeper into, and especially for broader impacts, talk about what you gain from each of those experiences and not just make it a list. So I think this is Emily's example that she wrote. And so this is a great example of broader impacts, and it starts out talking about being in the UROC Scholars Program, and then taking that experience and building upon it and being able to spread the information that Emily learned to other students as well, and creating things like power or different workshops or sessions that are able to help other students and also provide peer support. Yeah.
So now we're gonna go into our first activity time for today. So Lexi, if you don't mind dropping the Jamboard into the chat. What you're gonna do is you're gonna open this up and we're gonna take just a little bit of time and we're gonna go through each slide. So the first one is gonna be theme. So this is gonna be similar to that like kind of mind mapping brain dump we did last week. What I want you to do is do a brain dump for this. So think about your first broader impacts paragraph. What might your theme be for that? From there, we're going to go on to the next slide. We'll do a topic sentence, and we're going to break down each part of this. I do not recall, Lexi, do you remember, is it in the slides how long we're going to do for this activity?
We said about 15 minutes, but we're about 5 minutes behind schedule. So 10 minutes.
All right. So I'm gonna let you all go through this at your own pace then. You all have access to the Jamboard. So or if you know you don't have access to it, you can pop down your ideas in the chat and we can add it for you, or we can just read them out. And you can change this. So for now, just focus like maybe one experience, right? One broader impacts experience that you thought about in your mind mapping. Think about what theme you want to use for that paragraph to talk about that experience and that impact. And then just go through as you have some inspiration for each one. And I think, Lexi, do you want to do examples too? We can do some. Oh, sorry, there's 5 slides, so you get 2 minutes each slide. But you can go through as on your own. Oh yeah, I know that. The below bar is so annoying. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Let's just do that one. Oh, wait. That didn't do what I wanted to do. 1 second. I gotta get my slide back first. There we go. So sorry. I swear I don't usually struggle so much with technology. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna go into the drafting. Lexi, do you want to do this slide?
Yes, I can. Okay, so like Emily said, we're gonna start going into the drafting. So this is pulling together all of the mind mapping you may have done. You're starting to think about storyboarding, so the organization that comes from that and how you want to move all the transitions together so everything flows. And we made this wonderful little pictures for you that can help you figure out all the different resources that you may need when you are drafting. So like we said, the mind map, storyboard, CV, and the GRFP actual prompt are always good things to have. Yeah, mind maps are good because then you can make sure that you have all of the pillars. Also, it's very visual, so it can help you organize that way. Again, storyboarding can help you figure out the organization, but also make sure you stay on theme of each paragraph. The CV, that information should be on your mind maps already, but it's always good to have around for easy access if you need to remind yourself of something or sometimes even the order of some things. Always good to have around. And then the prompt as well is just always good to have around. Make sure you stay on topic. I always like to put it at the top of my writing documents as well, just to so I know where it is, and also just to remind myself every so often.
Back to an activity. So now you have more time to work on your storyboarding. Here's the template again for you. So think about your mission statement, think about your mind maps, use your mind maps, and keep working on building this up for your first paragraph. Please let us know if you have questions. You're more than welcome to use the Jamboard if you want to start drafting these out, or you can use pen and paper. You can do whatever works best for you right now. I will say though, if you use the Jamboard, please make sure you copy over your, even if you take screenshots, do whatever you need to do by next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'm going to go in and I'm going to delete them. So make sure you copy it over, otherwise your hard work will be gone. But you have a week to do it. Yeah, right. We will come back at 4:50. I will bring the sharing back. I'm just gonna pause the recording. Oh, actually, never mind. I can do that.
Again, thank you. The deliverables are just the emails to potential faculty that goes along with the PI wish list, and then also starting to draft those broader impacts, because again, we are more than halfway at this point through this whole gap session for all these different weeks. So next week we are going to start the intellectual merit section of the personal statement. So you all do need to be working a little bit on your own time just to keep up and get some progress on some of the drafting now.
You don't need to be done with broader impacts before we get to intellectual merit. That you can just keep brainstorming broader impacts, get a little bit done there, then we'll shift gears, go into intellectual merit, and then keep going to the other parts. You can go back to it when you are ready. Just keeping in mind, as usual, we talked about this last time. You got to start scheduling those Zoom meetings with faculty and emails to faculty and letter writers. If you need help with this, come and talk to us. If you need help with any part of the writing process, any questions with GRFP related stuff or not, you can always book an appointment with us. There are the links there. There are 30-minute sessions, but you can book 2 if you want more than that. Just maybe only leave it at 2 and then take a break. And if you really need more, then you can do more. But it's good to take a break after an hour.
Right, and then again, the summary timeline. I think we put a screenshot of this on our modules for writing resources. So you should have access to this, but again, you should all have your own that's more adjusted to each of you and the time that you also know that you have. If you're doing research at the same time, can obviously shift. But again, all of these products have different sections of them, so you just need to continuously work on all of them. If it feels like you're juggling everything and just trying to do them all at the same time, that's about right. Yeah, that's kind of just how it feels sometimes. And there are a lot of different products with this, so we know it's a lot, but you all will get through it. We're here to help.
Yeah, I don't know about for you, but for me, it felt like a ton of moving pieces. And I was like, how am I ever going to put this together? And then all of a sudden, I swear to God, it felt like overnight. I had like the statement, and I was like, oh, this actually works. This makes sense. I have something. It was crazy. Okay, next time, like we said, we'll do intellectual merit. This one should be a little bit easier. Just make sure you have your CVs. That's going to help a lot next week, especially all your research experiences. Big thing for next week.
Again, all of these resources same as usual, the NSF virtual office hours and all those good things. And we do not have the summary timeline on our Canvas, so I'm putting it on right now.
Thank you, Lexi. That NSF office hours is coming up. It's July 18th. So if you have like very specific GRFP questions that we cannot answer, highly recommend going to that. And that's it. Thank you all for coming. I know this was a hard week. You did it. You made it through. Deserve a break. Make sure you take some time to yourself.